Your attention is being stolen every single day, and I'm about to show you the exact 4-step system to take it back. Let's chat about it. How do tech lovers, entrepreneurs, and busy freelancers stay productive without drowning in bad tech, apps, or chaos? That's the question, and this YouTube channel will give you the answers. My name is Nick, and this is Let's Chat Tech with Nick. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick Russell, and this is Let's Chat Tech with Nick. Now, I just finished reading a book called Make Time. And this book by Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky, I hope I'm saying that right, is an absolute game changer. I fell in love with this book right after the first chapter, and I bought it first on Audible, and I was going to listen to that on my morning walk. I finished it really quick, and it was so good, I actually had to get a physical copy of the book, and that's why I'm making this video now. So, in Make Time, they talk about how many distractions we have. We sit down to the desk and there's notifications from our Samsung devices, emails popping off, and we go down this rabbit hole of checking social media real quick. And next thing you know, half an hour's gone, an hour's gone, and we've got absolutely nothing done. But what if I told you, with the systems from this book, Make Time, you can actually build a fortress around your focus and get a lot more done in a lot less time. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, before we get into the actual system to be more productive, let's talk about ways we get distracted and the reasons we get distracted. Now, everybody has their phone attached to their hip. Doesn't matter who you are, we're all addicted to our cell phones. And as soon as we see a notification from TikTok or YouTube, Facebook, whatever the case may be, the first thing is we want to look at that. And then once you look at that, you get down that rabbit hole of doom scrolling. Or you have a massive task and the anxiety hits you and you do everything in your power to avoid doing that task. Or you look at your to-do list and it's just so long, you can't focus and you just don't want to focus on you don't even want to start. But in Make Time, there are 4 steps to help you overcome those distractions and really dive into getting meaningful work done and getting a significant amount of work done and be focused while you're doing that. So let's dive into the framework before we get into the steps. So when it comes to the 2 authors of Make Time, Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky, I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. They both worked at Google and they were engineers in designing a lot of different products and apps like Gmail and a lot of the stuff we use today. So their processes and working in a major company like Google and developing all of these apps and systems, they learned a lot from what they did there into becoming more productive in their daily lives. And they came up with a framework: highlight, laser, energize, and reflect. And using these 4 steps, they found a way to first tackle your to-do list, be energized to do that all day long, and be laser focused while you're doing it. And then reflect on what you've done so you can make the next day even better. So let's talk about the very first step. Let's talk about highlight, and then we'll dive into the rest. So the first step is highlight. Now, you've heard me talk before about using the Eat the Frog method. And with that is you have your to-do list, and from that you're going to take the top 3 tasks. And in Eat the Frog, those are the 3 frogs, the 3 biggest, hardest tasks, tackling those first, and then making your way through your to-do list. Now, with the highlight method, this is highlighting one task. So we look at our task lists, and especially as entrepreneurs, business owners, freelancers, our to-do lists are quite large some days. And a lot of the times that's intimidating. So we want to highlight one task, focus on that one task, a small chunk, and then once you're done that, highlight another task. And then you can make your way down that list by starting small with one task at a time instead of looking at your entire task list, your entire to-do list. That one task will lead into getting the next one done, the next one done, and the next one done. And believe me, before you know it, your whole to-do list will be done, or for the most part, a good chunk of it, enough to say that it was a productive day, and then you can move on to the next day. All right, now that we have our highlight, let's be laser focused and get this task done. And in Make Time, they talk about making a distraction-free zone, a notification-free zone, somewhere where you can work and be focused. So, for example, I have a mini little office I have set up here, and I have no distractions. The TV shut off, nothing around me. I use the Pomodoro technique personally, but I make sure my phone is in focus mode, and using the Modes and Routines app in my Samsung device, I have that automatically set. So throughout the day, it will block notifications from coming in. So I don't see them on my phone or on my computer. And then I only check email twice a day. I check it in the morning, I check it at night. So I can be laser focused on getting my tasks done in those 25-minute blocks that I have set up. So now that we've highlighted our task and we are laser focused on getting that task done, how are we going to stay productive and motivated for the rest of the day? Let's talk about the third step. Now, before we get into that third step, I just want to thank you for being here. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. And if this is giving you some value, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment and all that other fun stuff. And hopefully this brings my stuff back up into your feed a little bit more, and I can provide you a little bit more value. All right, now we're ready to talk about the third step, energize. Now, our brains aren't like a computer. We can't just turn them on and go. We need that little bit of a motivation, and we need to energize ourselves to get going and be ready for the day. Now, some people, that may be having coffee. Some people, as bad as it is, like energy drinks. But for me personally, it's getting up in the morning and moving my body. I get up every morning around 5, and I'm usually out the door anywhere between 5:30 and 6 in the morning, and I walk for 7 kilometers. I have a nice little route along the river, looping back, listening to an audiobook, being out in that fresh air, getting those steps in, moving my body. That gives me enough motivation and energizes my body, gets me jump-started and ready for the day. So whatever it is that makes you motivated and can energize you, use that to be more productive throughout the day. And if you're using something like the Pomodoro technique, stay focused for that 25 minutes. And when that timer's up, actually get up and get away from your desk. Even if it's walking around the office, walking around the living room, getting outside, a quick little walk around the block, but something to take you away from the screens and actually just move your body a little bit. Get a little stretch in, fill your bottle of water, whatever the case may be, but that'll help you stay energized and help you stay focused for the rest of the day. So we talked about highlight, we talked about being laser focused, we talked about being energized. Now let's talk about the fourth step in this system. Now for me, this is one of the most important parts. This is reflect. And this is something that I do every single day using Notion. I've built out a whole planning system in Notion, and part of that is my daily planner. This is something that I used to use in my old Rocketbook planners. Then I built out a digital planner, and I now built something out in Notion. And to start the day, I write an affirmation down. I write what I'm grateful for, what my intentions are for the day, writing down my task list. Then I use the Eat the Frog method. I've now added a highlight to that as well. But at the end of the day, I have a section where I reflect. So to do that, the first things I do is I jot down 3 wins for the day. So go over your day, whatever the case may be. It could be work-related, something personal, whatever it is. Write down 3 wins so you can celebrate those wins. Now, we got to be honest with ourselves. We need to reflect a little bit. We need to jot down where we were uncomfortable, what went wrong, something that just didn't work and you could have made better throughout the day. Jot that down. And then when you're done that, jot down how you can make tomorrow better. So what we're going to do is we're going to reflect on what went wrong and we're going to reflect on our 3 wins. And then we're going to write a little tiny action plan on how tomorrow can be better. Just that small little section to reflect on the day will make tomorrow even better. And it kind of sets you up for the rest of the week to make your entire week a whole lot better. So in this nutshell, what we're going to do, and I want you to do this starting today or even starting tomorrow morning, is I want you to highlight one task, something that you have to get done for tomorrow. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to stay laser focused on getting that task done. Whatever works for you, and if it's something like the Pomodoro technique, that works for me, but be laser focused. Get rid of all of your distractions, turned on focus mode, whatever the case may be, but get that done. Next, I want you to recharge your batteries. So if that's a good night's sleep, if it's getting out and going for a walk in the morning, if it's having a coffee, maybe getting out and walking at lunch, stretching, whatever it is, whatever gets you energized to get that work done and stay focused, do that. Next, whether it be using a Notion template, and I'll leave the link in the description below so you can get my Notion template if you want that. But you could use a notepad, you could use your notes app on your phone, whatever it is. Reflect on the day. You don't have to write down the top 3 wins, where you're uncomfortable and where you could be better. But as long as you reflect on your day so you can make tomorrow better. If you do those 4 things every single day, you're going to see a significant increase in your productivity from day to day to day. I promise you. So that's all I have for you this week. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And believe me, if you're somebody who likes productivity style books, Make Time is an absolutely amazing read. I'll put the link to this in the description, as well as a link to my Notion Planning Hub, so you could actually plan out your entire day. And not only that, I have weekly reviews and planning templates, quarterly, monthly, yearly review and planning sessions. All of that is all in one big planning hub, all in Notion. And with that, I'll see you on the next video.